Remove carcinogens and get your gear compliant clean with Unimac laundry equipment. Find it at alliancelaundry.com/fire.
From the front lines to the firehouse, heroes deserve real comfort. FirehouseFurniture.com designs seating built tough for firefighters by people who understand the job. Honor your crew. Shop FirehouseFurniture.com.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 12 of We Can't Believe They Gave Us a Show with Nick and Jim. I'm Jim.
I'm Nick.
And gosh, Nick, I gotta tell you, 12 episodes. That means we've snuck by for a whole year and they haven't canceled us.
I know, and this is going to be our shameless plug of an episode.
Yeah, we'll see if we see episode 13 or not, right?
That's right.
All right. So for those listening, you're missing out because we're kind of dressed up a little bit, or at least Nick is. You look like a Jedi.
Not a Jedi.
You look like a Jedi drinking white milk, which everybody knows they drink blue milk.
Well, that's true. They do drink blue milk.
Yes, but you're rocking the robe is what you are, and that was a White Russian here at 9:32 a.m.
That's right. That's right.
Starting your day off well. I'm wearing a Lebowski shirt.
Yeah. So what does this have to do with health and wellness exactly?
We don't know. we don't know yet. But no, this is our shameless plug. So hopefully the people that are attending our conference on October 15th through 17th in exotic Beaver Creek / Xenia, Ohio, like this is their preview. But for everybody else, this is just going to be what you're going to be missing out on. Losers.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. All right. So I just mentioned it. Xenia, Ohio, Greene County Expo Center, October 15th through 17th. This is, as voted on by the attendees last year, a big Lebowski conference.
That's right. It's like Lebowski Fest, but with more knowledge.
Not sure about that. I think you're out of your element, Nick.
Well, that's kind of rude to our speakers, don't you think?
Well, whatever. So, let's start it off October 15th. We start off with optional morning activities.
Yeah. So every year of our conference, we've done some type of morning activity. We really adopted this early on and, started out with yoga with our favorite yogi, Brandon Dryman retired from Indianapolis Fire. And we've kind of expanded it here in the past few years. Now we've got warrior meditation for those Save a Warrior alums or those who are interested in some type of meditation. And then we also have a worship service with our friend Chaplain Tim. And this year, something that we started last year and expanding upon this year, we're doing, kind of a Friends of Bill W. morning edition and an evening edition for those that need those types of meetings.
Perfect. So those are all optional, and I believe they start at 7:30 in the morning. So it's up to you if you want to do that stuff or check it out. And we're going to do it all 3 days, so you can try it whenever.
Yep.
So after the morning activities, we're going to kick things off with Dena Ali.
Yeah, so it's kind of excited to bring Dena back. Dena was actually presented at our probably the least attended show, 2020, our COVID year, which we did have a conference, surprisingly, but it was socially distanced and minimally attended. So it'll be great to have Dena back. Jim, I think you could expound upon exactly what is she going to be talking about.
Yeah, she's going to talk about it's not the calls, and really just with all of her research and everything she's done about how um, a lot of times it's not the calls that end up causing us to complete suicide. A lot of times it's really just how we're treated. And so she expounds on that and uses all of her knowledge. And I saw her teach this at FDIC, and I knew when she was doing it that she's going to kick off our event right then and there. Like, it was that impactful with me.
Yeah, it's definitely a great presentation. She's just a wealth of knowledge. She'll also be part of our book corner, right?
That's right. Yeah, so we have several different authors that are going to be there that are bringing their books that our attendees can purchase and get autographed copies. And there's one surprise in there that we're not even going to mention here, but we do have a pretty cool author coming that definitely will fit the theme of what we're doing.
I heard it's definitely going to tie the whole room together, right?
It's like a good rug.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So our next speaker, well, speakers, is yourself and Stephanie Ryal. Why don't you tell us about that, Jim?
Oh, see, now we're going to talk all about my brain. And everybody out there thought I was a scarecrow, and that's just mean. Just mean. I do have a brain, and Stephanie has proof of it. But no, we're really just going to talk about how how warped and how crazy my brain was after, being a first responder for about 25 years, and how we had to go about getting it back to normal. So it's a very interesting piece, all about neurofeedback, and really follows me for about 6 months and my progress. And I think it will actually be very impactful. I think I'll be speaking directly to the audience, like they're going to kind of feel where I'm coming from when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting because it's one of those things like I think it's a newer technology, right? With the or neurofeedback and things
Uh,
like that.
I don't
And
want to say it's newer, but it's been more accepted in the mental health space. It's been around, I think, for a while.
yeah, and so it's going to be, but you're going to have hard data showing really the changes, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Pictures. Firefighters like pictures, and we have pictures.
Oh yeah. So
So,
so our first day is really we couldn't do the first day without the our friends at the First Responder Center for Excellence. They're sponsoring the first day, and with that, we're going to have obviously we feed our attendees. We have breakfast options, and for lunch we're going to have some awesome mission barbecue that day, courtesy of the First Responder Center for Excellence, right?
that's right. Yeah, they're sponsoring that whole first day. It's an FRCE day. That's part of our partnership with them, and our other partners, of course, Crackle. They're going to be there. They're going to have their booth. They're going to have their magazines. They actually are the ones who took care of the challenge coin this year for the attendees. Um, and in fact, I guess we should touch on that real quick. In order to get your challenge coin from Crackle for the conference that has the lovely beaver and the robe on it, which I mean, of course, who wouldn't want a beaver with a robe? But you're just going to have to show proof or actually sign up for the firefighter registry, and that's how you get your coin.
Well, I mean, it's a simple process. Doesn't take too terribly long to sign up for the registry, and it's great to help future generations of firefighters, right?
It's now the largest firefighter study that's ever been done, over 30,000 firefighters, but they're aiming for 200,000. So, for those that haven't signed up, that's your opportunity. You can do it live with the girls in the booth, Andrea and Pam, and you'll get a coin in return. So, there you go.
Hey, another great bonus. So also we've got from last year. We had such a great response last year from doing our equine therapy class, an introduction to equine therapy that our buddy Tim, the chaplain who does our morning worship service, is going to bring his horse back again, right, during lunchtime.
That's right. It went over so well, we decided to do it again. So give everybody the opportunity to get some horse love. Oh, that sounded kind of bad, didn't it?
Just a tad.
Oh, everybody's mind just instantly went to the gutter. Uh, to get some hugs from the horse. That sounds more innocent.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Um, oh goodness. Um, no, it's going to be awesome. And again, that's the cool thing about this conference is you can only get away with bringing a horse to the Hilton one time.
That's right.
Yeah. You
Go into
know,
these fancy
it's
hotels. They
it's
frown upon horse poop.
yep, it's right in the lobby, and we'll never have the horse in there again.
That's
So,
right.
but where we're at now, it's the fairgrounds, and we have the ability to do that, which is really kind of cool, and really why we, in a way, kind of bought our freedom.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, it's definitely gives you a different, different opportunities when you have that availability to do, different types of things like that. So the next on this first day, we've got our buddy Chief Dan Kerrigan, right?
That's right. He makes his grand return back to the conference as well. So, um, they'll talk all about firefighter functional fitness and wellness and nutrition. He's a great dude, great speaker, and I'm excited to have him back hanging out with us again.
Yeah, and Dan will have his books as well as
That's
part of
right.
our author corner. So, people that do attend can pick up one of his books while they're there as well. So, next up is our buddy Frank Lido from FDNY.
That's
So
right.
what's Frank going to be talking about? I mean, Frank's never been to the conference.
He's probably going to talk about how his Mets didn't make the playoffs and my Reds did. That's no, but no, look, man, he has so much experience being the head of the counseling service unit for FDNY. And what he's really going to talk about, just using his unique experiences, significant calls and really peer support call outs. So, we had Scott Ross last year, and Scott Ross is kind of like the West Coast IFF guy, and Frank has been really the East Coast FDNY guy, and they handle so many of the really, really bad call outs, throughout the country. This is the two of them. So, um, man, there's so much knowledge and experience, and I'm glad that he's going to be sharing some of that with our attendees.
Yeah, we always talk about how it's if you're a peer supporter, this is a must see conference, right? Because it's more or less you get your basic uh, you know uh, peer support class, and this kind of is your most advanced level peer support class, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So
I mean, and from the best of the best, truly.
yeah, so it's going to be great that first day. Like we talked about before, we've got for those who need a Friends of Bill W meeting, we'll have that in the afternoon before we do our first kind of mid-conference event, right? So every year we try to do some type of mid-conference networking event where we go and do something a little bit more fun than talking about health and wellness, and just kind of let our hair down and have fun, especially Jim. He loves letting his hair down.
I'm growing it out right now. Can you
That's right.
tell?
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, it's super long. So this year we're going to go to a place called On Par, and it's part of our theme. They have it's the closest facility that we could find that has some type of bowling activity, right?
No, I mean, there are closer bowling alleys, but the truth is they're being used because there's nothing better to do here than bowl. So every lane in the area on a regular bowling alley is already being used, taken up in league play. So uh, we did find this place that has duckpin bowling. So it's a little bit smaller, but it's still bowling. And the place itself is just really, really cool. It's much more than just bowling, right?
Oh yeah, they've got karaoke, they've got putt putt, they've got all sorts of different things. if you're interested and you're coming to the conference, or if you're,
They've
thinking
got
about it.
they've got pretzels bigger than your head, Nick, and that is huge.
That is true. That is true. But we shot a little bit of a commercial. Jim did, at On Par, kind of showed the features of what they got going on. So if you visit the website, and go to the agenda portion, or even the front page, it's got a little video of what exactly you could do at On Par, our first evening event.
Perfect. So we're all going to go to bed early that first evening. We all have a curfew. We're all responsible adults. And the next morning, the 16th, oh yeah, start off again, morning activities, yoga, warrior meditation, worship, Friends of Bill W. Those are all starting again, I think at 7:30 in the morning. And then, oh man, I'm excited for this. Our buddy Rick Cheatham is going to kick things off. Now,
Yeah.
you've hung out with him. We both did it in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, if you listened to last month's episode of the show, you got to a little bit of an introduction to Rick, right? We had Rick on the show. He talks about his incredible journey from being a captain at Anaheim Fire in California to being paralyzed at one point, having his son murdered. I mean, just lots and lots of layers to the onion with him. And he is gonna kind of break it all down, of how he is kind of gone from where he was to where he is now, and thriving. So really interesting story, really impactful story, talking about forgiveness and things like that. And I think he's going to really set the tone for the rest of the day that day.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's going to be great. And then there's, oh God, this other guy again next.
Yeah, apparently, somebody who's co-founder of the conference, put his foot down, said, I have to speak twice this year.
Yeah, I should have spoke 3 times. Yeah.
So
Increase
what
my
are you going to be
pay.
talking about this time, Jim?
Uh,
Is it more stuff about your brain?
no, no, no. This is all about cancer prevention. So this is, um, I've been doing this talk kind of for a while, but it's I call it the 25. It's basically the 25 steps that one can do to reduce their risk of being diagnosed with cancer. So, and it kind of comes with a checklist. So everybody's going to have a really good idea of where their department currently sits. So it's kind of like a self critique of that department and the individual, what they're doing. Because, that's the thing with when we get diagnosed with cancer, like I can't tell you where or when my exposures were that gave me my cancer. I don't know. It's a guess. So because of that, we need to try to do everything we possibly can do to reduce our risk, and that's really going over. So yeah, so you wanted me to talk. I didn't want to talk. I finally said yes because I am cheap. I work for really food, which is a
That's right.
great segue into what we're eating for lunch that day.
That's right. Yeah. So lunch that day is our friends at Timeless Tacos. They've been with us for a few years now. Owned by a fellow firefighter in the Dayton area, and it's going to be great. We're going to have definitely tacos, nachos, things like that. It's really kind of a create your own type of thing. So really excited to have them back. We've heard nothing but good praises, especially like when if you remember when Brendan McDonough was there, he made a reference to the tacos being as good as the Southwest tacos, which blew everybody's mind considering we're in Ohio.
You know, if you know Brandon, his specialty is donut.
That is true. So we got our timeless tacos lunch, and then next up, so this we had a little bit of a change to the conference this year. One
So
of
yeah,
our
this is
instructors.
kind of alerting everybody. The first kind of time we've said this out loud.
Yeah, so unfortunately, our one of our instructors, JD Miller, was not able to make it this year. She had an on-duty injury that prevent her from traveling. But we made a little bit of a switch. So Chris Moore, who was already scheduled to speak, is going to speak a little bit earlier, right after lunch. And Jim, tell us a little bit about what Chris is going to be talking about.
Chris has had a heck of a journey as well. And we were actually supposed to have him last year, but he booked himself on a cruise and chose a cruise over us.
How rude.
Can you believe it? Especially when we had Jimmy Hart there last year.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
The
His
mouth of the South.
well, you got to come here just to question Chris's priorities, really, more than anything. But no, Chris had a heck of a journey, mental health journey, and went through a lot of stuff to really get back to a good place. Programs like Save a Warrior. Um, and he also, one of the interesting things that I'm excited to hear him talk about, which, by the way, it's weird that I get excited about this stuff. Like, it just tells you how big of a nerd I am, and I know you're the same. But
Mhm.
the gist of it is, he had trouble getting back to work, like allowing his work to feel comfortable enough with letting him go back and being back on shift. So, I mean, that's a really, I think, interesting part that isn't discussed very often is, when we do have these, um, I don't know, what do you want to call them, breakdowns or whatever they may be, like, how are we able to get back to a place where we can go back to work and be trusted? And,
Yeah.
and and Chris is going to cover that, and it's going to be, I know it's going to be great.
Well, it's one of those almost taboo topics, a little bit, because I mean it's really not been something that has been explored that often. So it'll be interesting to see, really what Chris has done and within his department to not only help himself but help others in his similar situation, to come back and come back to full duty. So like we said, JD Miller unfortunately would not be able to join us this year. So we had to pivot a little bit, and our friend Conrad Weaver, who's a filmmaker and fellow podcaster, is going to show his movie PTSD 911. So, Jim, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I saw this a couple years ago at the Kentucky conference, and man, super powerful, impactful, pretty heavy. And I could tell you because I knew a couple of the guys in the movie, including Chris Moore, and seeing them struggle in live time um, was hard to see. But I also knew that they're both in a better place. So the other guy I'm referencing is Matty Fiorenza from Anaheim Fire, and the interesting thing too is, and it's just weird. It's such a small world, but Rick Cheatham was Matty's officer. So during that time when Matty was really having a lot of his struggles, Rick was over him. So after the movie is played, we're actually going to do some Q&A. We'll have Chris Moore and Rick Cheatham with Conrad available to answer any of the audience's questions and kind of give some interesting perspectives for sure. But we talked about having Conrad a couple years ago, and it didn't really work out. But I'm so glad that we have this second opportunity, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, Conrad's been awesome to deal with. Obviously we had to, he was pitch hitting, and he probably wasn't expecting that because he was originally coming as an attendee. So should be really cool to see the movie, have people there obviously involved in the movie, doing a little bit of Q&A. So again, we have that Friends of Bill W. Evening session, and then we've got our second mid-conference networking event, right? So we're going to go to a place that we went last year, which is Level Up Pinball and Wild Axes. So tell me a little bit about that, Jim.
Yeah, it says both of those. It's an axe throwing place and also a pinball place. And we did go last year, and the individuals who went to the networking event absolutely loved it. They had such a good time, because they're able to be like every firefighter is competitive, so they were able to challenge each other, whether it's pinball or axe throwing, and they just had a great time. So we were like, it was a no-brainer to do it again this year. And
Yeah.
it's actually the cool thing is the company, the On Par, the place we're going on Wednesday night, it's the same company that we're going to on Thursday night.
Yeah,
So
they've been very gracious at hosting us, and we're really excited. And we've got
there's the videos of that too
yep, there's another
on
video on the
website.
website
Yeah.
that people can check out and see exactly what we're going to be involved in that. So so Friday, October 17th, it's our half day. So everybody gets out a little bit early. We have our
Early
morning
dismissal.
activities. That's right. Morning activities, and then we got Dr. Sarah Janke, probably our resident doctor, right? She's been probably one of the most one of the people that spoke the most at our conference, right? Don't you say?
I think this is number 4 for her. And it's amazing that she's back again because every time I mess with her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, after the first time we had her, I was surprised she was even willing to come back.
Yeah. And I guess she just needs the money, clearly.
It must be, yes, because well, the first year that Sarah came, it was she actually came on her birthday, and Jim was gracious enough to arrange a cake to be made for her, and
She was
we
so
brought it
happy.
out. Oh, she was. We
So
brought it
happy.
out. We were singing happy birthday to her, and then she read the cake. And what did the cake say, Jim?
Happy 50th birthday, Dr. Sarah Janke.
And how old is Dr. Jakey at the time?
Not quite 50 years old yet.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
So
think she still is.
that probably not. No. So yeah, it was hilarious, but she took it in stride, and she's come back to join us again for her
Yeah,
fourth conference. So
sucker. So, she's just gonna, here's a cool thing, and I know she loves me for this too, is I don't even know what she's talking about. I trust her enough where I just said, tell me the latest, greatest news and research because I know you'll be on top of it.
yep, yep. Sarah's got her hands in so many different things. She can talk on so many different disciplines when it comes to firefighter health and wellness. So it's great to have her and have her expertise. So
That's right. And
uh,
we're gonna since she's here, we're gonna use her and abuse her because I mean, we're gonna get our money's worth for sure, right?
that's right. That's right. And that's a good segue to so we've got a fellow podcaster, the podfather, if you will,
Yeah.
of probably health and wellness,
We're not
firefighter health and
worthy.
wellness. That's
We're
right.
not worthy.
We've got James Gearing coming, and he is going to be hosting a roundtable discussion with Sarah and a few other folks. Why don't you tell us about that, Jim?
So yeah, the topic that he's going to discuss is, I mean, if you've followed him at all, he is, I mean, been such a fighter regarding the 24/72 shift schedule. Like
Mm-hmm.
he is a proponent of that. This is a individual who did work 4896s and worked all sorts of different schedules in his firefighter career and realizes that we need ample time to recover. We need to be able to sleep. And he also is smart enough to recognize that the general public works about 40 hours a week. Um, Firefighters, 48 hours, 56 hours, sometimes even more. So a 24/72 schedule gets it more in line with the general public working a 42-hour work week. So um, he's been so passionate about this, and his passion, I know, has led fire departments to making that move to actually changing their shift schedule to the 24/72. He's got a bunch in Florida, one in just Texas happened. I mean, there's all over the place. I think North Carolina or South Carolina just had one. And it's not a foreign schedule. The Northeast, like, is all that pretty much.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, North Carolina was one of the ones that he just celebrated that sign that ended up switching, and we have a couple local chiefs who have the
Right.
24/72 schedule, so they're going to join us and talk about how that's impacted their department. Because not only does this talk, this is health and wellness related, but it's really also, somewhat of a recruiting and retention tool, because a lot of the departments, at least in our area, that have switched to this 24/72 schedule have seen struggles in recruiting and hiring full-time employees. And they've made this switch to kind of be, they might not be able to pay the best, but they are able to provide a better schedule, better work-life balance. So it's interesting, and that all kind of ties into the health and wellness piece, along with recruiting and retention. So, and James will also be part of our author corner, right? He's got 2 books out now, right?
2 books, and I'm watching all the stuff, the news regarding Kinder. I mean, his goal of making it into a TV show is getting closer and closer every day, it seems.
Yeah, I just saw that he had a pretty important or pretty well-known celebrity sign on to that project here recently. So should be really cool to see when that happens. But you could get a little bit of an inside track by meeting James and getting a copy of Kinder.
And that's the cool thing too, is he's going to be here the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also on the panel, we shouldn't forget John Vogt is going to be there. He's a past speaker from Rescue One CBD, but his department, all he knows is the 24/72, because he's in a department in Florida. So he could just talk about all the benefits and like the simple fact that nobody has ever left his department to go to another department.
Again, well, that's right there with the recruiting and retention piece,
Exactly.
right? I mean, so yeah, it's going to be a really interesting conversation. But they wrap up the half day. So really, I mean, it's going to be 2.5 days of some really great information. And like Jim said before, a lot of our speakers, they're there for the most of the conference, so you'll get to hang out with them. If there's a question that you have that you want to ask them, and you don't necessarily want to ask them in front of the rest of the group or anything like that, there's plenty of opportunity to have that one-on-one time with these speakers. So that's, I think, another unique feature of our conference, that we have speakers that hang out with us for the usually the entirety of the conference. So really gives you some
It's
type
because
of
there's nothing
access.
else to do in there in Xenia, Beaver Creek.
Well, but they could always go home, right? But
They can't they can't even bowl.
That's true. That's true. But
uh,
yeah, so our we talked about the book corner and having having all those authors. The FRCE is where we've been in a partnership with them for a little while now, and everybody who signs up for this year's conference is going to get, if you've been paying attention to the First Responder Centers for Excellence's Facebook page or social media, they've been talking about these green bags they're giving out. These green gear bags. Everybody who comes to our conference will get a green gear bag. So if you're attending this year, you'll have an opportunity to get that green gear bag with a lot of other exciting swag. So what else do we got going on, Jim?
well, let's also real quick to make a note on that. My wife thanks you for coming again in a gear bag, because that means it gets out of my garage.
Yes. The
Uh,
UPS man hated you for a little while, right?
yeah, 45 boxes of gear bags. Yeah. I don't think any of us were prepared for that, but I'm acting like I'm complaining. No, the reality is I'm very grateful and thankful, and I think this is going to be really cool to give out to our attendees.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's a pretty high quality bag, and it's something that you can use while you're on duty and stuff like that. So it's definitely it's a lot better than if you're like I was a traveling firefighter, where you're going from station to station. It's nice to have a bag that you can put your stuff in and not have to drag your crap around and
Yeah,
contaminate
exactly.
your car and all that crap.
So, the next thing we got is, and man, this is so cool, and we have along the way doing this, Nick, we've met some really amazing people, and one of the
Hmm.
best is a guy named Joey Byers, and he's a retired firefighter, and now he makes saunas. And it's not just a regular kind of square sauna that you're probably picturing. No, these are like round barrel saunas, and they are so cool. And he's made one that we're going to raffle off at the conference.
Yeah.
So this is something that you could take back to your home or you could take to your fire department. But I mean, I'm telling you guys, once you see this, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's cool. I want a ticket."
Yeah, well, we've got other things that are going to go to the raffle, like some.
We can't tell the one thing yet. That's
Yeah, there's
a
going to be a
secret.
special surprise. Once you get to if you come to the conference, you'll see it first day, and that'll be available for raffle. We'll have a lot of other raffle prizes to give away. So, and the great thing is, the raffle supports the conference. So, any of the money that we generate from the raffle is going to go directly back into keeping this conference going and keeping it affordable, because like that's
And
been one of our big things, right, Jim?
that's right. You and I have never ever taken a dime for this. Everything that we get goes into the conference. And I think the attendees can see that and they can appreciate that. But that's really made it's really on the back of on the vendors and people like Joey that are there to kind of help us out. And they're the ones that allow us to keep this still affordable. Um, and I think if you compared it to a lot of the other health and wellness conferences, we're still affordable. Even when the early bird special is over with, I mean, right now, for example, it's $200, but that's $200 for 2.5 days. We're going to feed you throughout. We have these networking events. It is, I think, still a really good value. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, clearly other people feel that way too. At this point in time, we have 20 individuals from different states that are coming, 20 different states represented, and Canada as well. And they're coming again to Xenia, Ohio, which I got to tell you is convenient for two people. And it's not even this guy that's giggling. It's Tim Spradlin, who lives 5 minutes away, and then myself, who's about 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. And I know it's inconvenient to everybody else, but yet they're coming because they see the value and they know just the power that this conference has. It is different. We have embraced being different. Um, we've been much more authentic to ourselves, and this has been, I think, much better just because of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's we wanted to be different, and we've been different. And really, I mean, that's year after year, we have people that come every single year, and that's kind of an honor in a way to have such loyal attendees that they want to come year after year. They see the value and see the presentation. So we strive, we pride ourselves on that it's one of those conferences that it's like the Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. We've built it, they've started coming, and they come year after year. So
It's,
we
it's
want to.
another, yeah, a baseball reference is kind of like I call us like the Savannah Bananas of the conference world.
It's right, it's
You know,
baseball but just different.
it is, and it's a conference, but it's different. It's still amazing speakers, still great content, affordable price, but we're going to be silly on top of that. It's like it's become almost like a Comic Con uh type of vibe as well. Like, I'm going to be dressed up, you're going to be dressed up, we're going to have other people hopefully dress up, so we're not the only weirdos there. Um,
Well, and
but
our speakers usually get into it. Like last year, we had Frank Lieb go full on with a wrestling match with you last year. So I mean, I
you
got to
hit
hit.
me with a chair. I haven't forgotten.
That's right. I got the opportunity to hit you with a chair.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
I think we should probably end it on this as you drink your White Russian milk at 9 excuse me, 10, 11 in the morning.
That's right. Breakfast of Champions. So, with that being said, we're going to let you guys go. We appreciate you listening to our shameless plug of an episode. But if you have not been, if you're not registered to the conference and you'd like to come, all the details are at exoticbeavercreek.com. Right, Jim?
It's not a naughty site.
No. It's our health and wellness site.
Kind of wish it was.
Our inside joke, when we were able to obtain that web address, we jumped right on it. So,
Well, because the joke, real quick, is most places you get to a conference are nice, are exotic. They're Florida,
right.
It's Nashville, it's Vegas.
Yep, and here you are coming to exotic Beaver Creek. So we had to add the exotic,
Yeah, it's silly. We're silly.
With that, go to exoticbeavercreek.com. You can secure your tickets from there. We've got plenty of options for staying locally. There's I believe our hotel link has expired, but there's other hotels that are affordable or in the area. We have our friends Athletes in Action that have kind of like a dorm room type atmosphere like you would see at the National Fire Academy. We have camping options at the fairgrounds. There's plenty of things to do, and even if you stay for a little while, like you go to the Air Force Museum, we've got a lot of interesting things around town too. So we hope to see you at the conference, but until next month, I'm Nick Magoteaux.
And I'm Jim Burneka.
That's right. And we'll see you next time.
That's supposed to be my line.
Say it.
It's too late now. You ruined it. I'm so upset at you. Goodbye.
Remove carcinogens and get your gear compliant clean with Unimac laundry equipment. Find it at alliancelaundry.com/fire.
From the front lines to the firehouse, heroes deserve real comfort. Firehousefurniture.com designs seating built tough for firefighters by people who understand the job. Honor your crew. Shop Firehouse Furniture.